Welcome back to the Shop Mini RC, everybody. I'm Ken, and today we've got something really awesome. It's another FMS product, but this one is special. This is an 18th anniversary. FMS is celebrating their 18 years of being in RC. Now, mind you, most of that is in airplanes, but nonetheless, they've been around 18 years, guys. No joke. This is an FCX24 Pro. It's a K5. We're going to dive into it. Let's get it open. We'll see how different it is. I'm excited. One thing I do know is it's brushless. So let's get in here and look at this thing. Oh man, blaze the trails. It's got an 18 on it. Oh, exciting. Kind of sad my box got kind of squished, but not a big deal. I'm sure it's totally fine. Look at this thing. Oh, I don't even know. Did we get the blue? Is that what we got? Oh no, we got the red. Okay, nice. I always appreciate the red. I wonder if it's the same. It looks the same as the Fair RC Mods red. Interesting. In that case, I think I would have preferred the blue, but I cannot complain. Let me get this guy open so we can show you what's in here. FMS 18th Anniversary Limited Edition, painted simulation car body, external rotor, brushless motor, full ball bearings, metal tie rods, metal straight axle. We're going to get into it. I'm sure a lot of it's the same as the previous ones. Probably just a few upgrades. Like I said, it's definitely brushless, which I am most interested in to see what this brushless system is like. How does it compare to the other brushless systems out there? Oh man, oh, it's got a white topper. Interesting. Our McHugh edition has the, I didn't even notice that it's on the box, it's white. Duh. Our McHugh has a black or gray. So let's see here. Okay, yeah. I like the yellow accents or orange accents. Very cool. It's like a yellow and an orange. The bottom is more, I don't know what's going on there. It's kind of orange to yellow. Orange here, yellow there. It's like a gradient. Then this is definitely just straight orange. That's an interesting choice. Beware of collision to avoid appearance damage. Do not wreck. All right, I know everybody wants to see first things first. If you want to see the deep dive of these, I've got plenty of other videos. You can check those out after you check out this video. If you want to go deep, we're not going to go super deep dive on this because we've already done multiples. Actually, let's get this off. Well, what we are going to dive into is this motor and ESC. What? What is this? This is wild. Okay, hold on. It's got an external receiver, which is freaking awesome. Let me go ahead and pull the lights out here. That's just normal headlights. They do not have on and off. They're going to always be on in this guy. Let's look here. We've got our oil-filled shocks. They're not super dampened. Oh, the backs are pretty good. Could probably use a little bit of extra dampening. Not bad, though. Not bad at all. I feel like a little bit thicker oil might do better in that. But that's pretty good. All right, let's see what battery we've got here. The normal battery. Yeah, we're running normal 380 battery. Man, this is wild. What's going on here? So this ESC or receiver tray just like pops in, it looks like, into our body clips, kind of like where the butcher pops in. And then this whole thing kind of comes out, it looks like. Yeah, okay. And then uncovers our little outrunner motor. Boom. What is that? Predator? Does that say Predator? The Predator 1212 3200 kV. FMSHobby.com. So it's their own little outrunner. Oh man. Looks like it's bolted right up to the standard transmission. We've got our shift servo. Looks like this guy is the old style where the shift servo is mounted to the chassis. and the chassis is all a single piece. So they didn't give us the updated chassis on this guy, chassis and skid plate, where the motor and ESC, or the motor and shift servo are all mounted to a single transmission housing sort of setup. It is still the old chassis. That's okay though. And then look at this little brushless ESC going on here. 2S LiPo. All right, and then an on and off switch. Okay, all right, cool. Well, that's neat. This little tray is kind of neat, and this little motor protector just clips right into there. Clip, clip. Very cool. Very cool. Do have a servo saver on there. All right, I want to run this thing. We're gonna get this thing going. We're gonna look at it and see how good that slow crawl is. Yes, yes. The standard FMS, and all these goodies. You can't forget about the goodies. We got that light bar if you want to pull your topper off and make it into a truck. We'll go ahead and show you some of the other trucks here. We got our other guys right over here. Let me get this out of here and I'll show you. Here's our way cool McHugh. Here's just our regular black, all black Chevy. So you can see you can run it like this, where it's more of a pickup style, or you can run it the traditional Blazer style. They are different. It is not exact. It's the same red, but it is black versus gray, and then obviously the white topper. Interesting. Very cool. We also have the black bumpers on the way cool McHugh. This guy's all hooked up with McHugh stuff and Ferrari Batrazi stuff. Very cool. All right, so yeah, I just wanted to compare those real quick and show you. So you can pull this body off though and make it like this if you'd like. All right, we need batteries. Let's get some batteries on this guy. All right, turn it on. Turn this guy on. Ooh, got a nice little beep. Remember, always swap your screws from here to back here. Get better turn radius, steering angle. Yeah, it's hitting on those screws. Yeah, move those screws to the back. That should be the first mod you do. All right, ready? Here, we're going to do this. We're going to use a trim. Throttle trim. Oh, man. That thing's moving in there. We just barely trimmed it. That's going to be smooth. All right. Okay, I wonder if we can still adjust our drag brake using this. No, it doesn't seem to be adjusting the drag brake at all. Our forward reverse. Does this adjust our forward brake reverse? Forward. No, still just forward reverse. I think when you're not using that 2-in-1 combo, none of these dip switches are going to work. So this is going to be similar to like the Furitek, where it basically bypasses all that and it's going to be all through the ESC here. So that's unfortunate. We don't have any drag brake settings. Let me check the manual and let's just see. All right, so looking through the manual, and this is what I found on the ESC. The SL 10 amp 2S ESC gives y'all a little bit of information there, and then it says it's completely waterproof and dustproof. It's a 32-bit microprocessor, can support more powerful processing capability and more accurate motor output, excellent startup, acceleration, and linear features, which does seem very true. Like, she rips and she slow crawls, so that's freaking sweet. Multiple protection features, the voltage cutoff, overheat protection, and throttle loss signal. And then the ESC firmware can be upgraded by Bluetooth module. So I'm not sure how we would plug in a Bluetooth module, because it doesn't look like you can really plug anything into this guy. They're basically just all wires coming out. You might be able to plug in the receiver basically port. You plug in your receiver plug into the Bluetooth module, maybe, or yeah, I would assume. I doubt it's built into it, but cool that it's got Bluetooth. So let's see here. We've got a 10 amp, 30 amp peak, 2S LiPo. I'm sure somebody's going to try a 3S and we'll find out what happens. A 6-volt BEC output with a 1 amp. No programming, it says. And then firmware upgrade, yes. No programming makes me very sad. Because we need to be able to adjust the drag brake. Like, you really have to be able to adjust the drag brake. Because if you're climbing and you're trying to crawl and you're on a little bit of a hill, it could potentially just roll backwards. I don't know. Do I have something here to show that? Yeah, like she's just going to roll backwards. Doesn't even take much. All right, well, maybe they'll do an update. We'll be able to adjust that. I kind of wish we would have been able to do it through the remote here. It would have been nice if they would have been able to keep that, but I understand because this is just a receiver. These are the same receivers that Furitek uses, I believe. Yeah, the R4P1BS. And then we are able to tune all those through the app and whatnot, or at least through some remote things. You can do some manual configurations there. The throttle feels really good though. Oh, that was under 2 speed, so that means our first gear is going to have even more nutso slow crawl. Yeah, the slow crawl on this is amazing. I don't notice any stuttering. It just feels nice and buttery smooth. Freaking awesome. Yeah, I forgot we were in second gear when we were doing this, and it still was like crazy smooth. So we're in high speed now. It's just that lack of drag brake. Now, I guess if we go up here and we have it in first, we've got a pretty good drag brake then. Actually, that's really good drag brake. So maybe I was speaking a little bit before I saw too much, but either way, it would still be nice to have adjustable drag brake on there for sure. Definitely feels like it's got good drag brake in low though, low gear. It doesn't roll at all, so that's good. It's got just that. I mean, I'm really pushing it to get that. Anyway. Definitely smooth. I also noticed that this guy is a V6, MG44 V6. So we'll have to dive in and figure out if it's got like, I know that you can adjust your trims for your channel 3. That's for sure. They definitely mentioned that. Let's just double check and make sure our lights, this isn't also a light controller, because that would be pretty sweet if it was a light controller as well. I assume it's just going to always be on though. I'm going to pull this guy out so I can look at it. This is only a channel. Oh yeah, this is a 4 channel. Yeah, it looks like it's going to always be on, which is, it's fine. Yeah, so you'll have to manually unplug or plug it in if you're wanting to adjust that. But man, what a good looking truck. Kind of surprised they didn't choose to do the 18th anniversary using like the LC80, because it's got tons of cool. Maybe they're going to end up losing those features anyway once they go brushless. I feel like they're definitely going to need to do some work on their programmability. But even then, just brushless out of the box, pretty cool. It's a little clicky. But that motor in ESC is smooth. I can't get enough of that. Like I said, if I just crank up right there. All right, before we go drive this guy, just go over a couple more things. It is all metal links, which is nice. The lower links are metal. The upper Y links, or the 3-link up here, is still plastic, but nice metal down here. We also have metal steering links here, and our drag link, that's all metal. It's all ball bearings. There's no bushings anywhere in there, so that's nice. Just be aware if you get it wet, you're going to need to oil or dry out and oil those bearings so they don't rust. Also, all metal gears in the portals. I'm not sure on the diffs. I guess we could look at that real quick. Let's do it. Now, opening the axles on these guys is pretty easy. You literally just unscrew the portal housing or portal cover. Pops right off. Comes out with your axle shaft. Ooh, they're pretty greased up. And then we can pull the 4 screws off of the axle housing here. And we'll be able to see inside there. Bam! There we go. And it's a metal diff, metal pinion, the drive shaft pinion. Well greased up, tons of grease in there. Looking good. Metal spool in there, freaking sweet. I appreciate that. All right, let's get it back together. We're also going to go ahead and flip our screws here up front, get that extra steering angle. All right, those are all flipped over. I can show you real quick the improvement we probably have. Yeah, so better steering angle now. Actually turn up our dual rate a little here. We are okay. Either way, definitely worth doing. Something else I noticed while under here, when compared to the McHugh. So we'll look at the McHugh. I thought they were the same body as far as the paint's concerned, and I think they are. I think this is painted on the outside here because it is very much the same. Okay, maybe slightly different. I don't know. They look pretty much the same. However, when I go underneath, it looks to me like the McHugh is painted. Let's see if I can scrape this guy a little bit. No. Oh, yeah. Look at that. That's white under there. Okay. But this guy, it's actually molded in the red. It's actually red molded. And you can see even the lights. Here, let me turn it off. The light buckets are molded in the red. So that's cool. So this is a white body that's painted with the red, whereas this guy is a molded red body. And it might still be painted red on the outside, but it's still a molded red body, which means you're not going to be able to see the scratches as much, right? Because I scratched the hell out of that. And realistically, you can see this stuff I scratched off, but like once that's gone, like you can't really see the scratches. Maybe a little bit. Camera picks it up a little bit, but you get my point. So that's freaking sweet. I dig it. Okay. Now I think we will go drive. Yeah, let's go drive.
We're on the rise, turning dreams to wheels. 18 years of pouring motor, still what's real. K-Funk, blaze a minute, roll with pure might. Brushless one apart, tearing through with might. Celebrate the ride, let's raise the stakes. 18 years of celebration in the air. FMS family will be on compare. Blaze are out front and the crowd is alive. Rocking with power, watch your passion thrive. Cause all terrain, whipping around the corners, nothing else is the same. FCX24, the legends here to stay. Watch us blaze the trails, we're leading the way. Gear up and go, and just getting started. 18 years of celebration in the air. FMS family won't be on compare. Blaze are out front and the crowd is alive. Rocking with power, watch your passion thrive. FCX24, the legend's here to stay. Watch us blaze the trails, we're leading the way. Gear up and go, we're just getting started. 18 years of celebration in the air. FMS family will be up compared. Blaze are out front and the crowd is alive. Rocking with power, watch your passion drive. Raise your voice, let the motor scream. FMS forever, here's to our rising dreams. Our rising dreams. Yeah.
Man, this thing is a blast. They did a great job with the brushless modulation, the ESC, the control, the speed, the torque, all seems really good with this motor and ESC. Definitely awesome to see them moving towards that direction, you know what I mean? They do have some work to do still on being able to tune it, right? Because you can't tune it at all. Like I said, the drag brake, definitely wish we could adjust the drag brake a little more. But I do want to go ahead and do a comparison on the speed compared to a normal brushed box stock. We'll just use our probably the black one. We'll just compare the low speed and the high speed. That way you can kind of just see the speed difference. I guess I could throw it on the scales so you can see the weights, and then we'll check out the remote. I want to go a little deeper into the remote and show you how to do the trim for channel 3 at least, and check out some other stuff. There you have it. This thing's got really good slow crawl modulation. You could see when I sped up that video 10 speed, it was just, I mean, it was creeping. I was almost tempted just to not put it in there because it didn't even seem like it was moving, but I was like, I'll just speed it up and then you'll be able to tell. And then I shifted into second and it just goes that tiniest bit faster. Pretty awesome. Definitely much more controllable and granular. The resolution is really good throughout the throttle pull. And yeah, so just awesome. It's both slower and faster than the brushed version in both gears. So pretty cool to see. And I also kind of felt the motor to see if it was getting warm after ripping it around a little bit, doing the super slow modulation. Sometimes that'll heat up the motor because it's going so slow. It's just kind of putting power to it. But even after that and ripping it around a little, the motor seemed totally fine. There was no heat issues at all. Let's go ahead and weigh this guy though. So I've got our little weight out. We're all zeroed out. And there we go. So it looks like we're right at 487 grams. And then a little bit 52 in the front, 48 in the back, and then a 50-50 side to side. Let's make sure we're settled. Yeah, 50-50 side to side. Pretty good, 48-52. And then even our tweak isn't too bad. That's our corner to corner, which is the 51-49. Yeah. That a lot of times just has to do with how flat it's sitting with the shocks. Awesome. Speaking of shocks, I forgot to point out, these shock housings are metal and they're threaded collars. So you can actually adjust the collars back here, slide them down, and get some preload on there. The springs are also very different compared to the previous truck springs. The previous truck springs are more of a tighter, smaller spring. See, the diameter of the actual spring itself is pretty small. The actual wire, right? And so it's a little softer, but there's a lot more coils. Whereas on this guy, it's a thicker wire with less coils. And these, I tell you what, these shocks are way smooth. Even on the older oil-filled shocks, those are smooth, but these are just so much more smooth. Like I said, I think I just add a little bit thicker oil. The front feels a little, you can see how fast it drops. Whereas the rear is a little slower. Not much. Either way, I feel like just a little bit thicker oil would help dampen that. You kind of want it to drop down nice and slow. Yeah, that would help. Either way, they're freaking awesome, and I love that they're aluminum, and I love that they're threaded so we can adjust the preload collar there. Pretty sweet. Now I do want to go through the remote just a little bit, just to show you some basic stuff. I did try to plug in a servo into the channel 4, and the servo was just twitching out. I tried 2 or 3 different servos. They all were just flipping out, and even when I turned the remote off, they were still just kind of freaking out. I don't know why. I don't know if there's something going on with this receiver or the ESC. Even one of them, a high voltage when I plugged in, it started causing the ESC to beep. So if anybody figures out what that is, please put it down in the comments below so other people will know what that issue is. But I could not get a servo to work in the channel 4 for some reason, so that's unfortunate. When I was doing that, I was also testing this new V6 to see if it had the 4-wheel steer mixing, which is basically where you're able to use this button to switch through like a crab or a mirrored or just rear only, and it wouldn't do that as well. So this is definitely a different remote from the V5. In some ways maybe a downgrade, I'm not totally sure, but all I could find here was how to do our binding and then how to do channel 3 trim. So binding is super simple on these guys. You'll just hold the button down, turn it on, you'll be beeping here, the green light will be flashing, and then you can turn on your truck. It'll blink a little and you'll hear a beep beep from our ESC, and then we're good to go. Okay. The next thing you're going to want to know how to do is how to adjust your trim right here in your for your shift servo. Let me go ahead and set this up real quick so that maybe you'll be able to see it a little better. Okay, now to do that, all you do is you double click on your bind button, and that's going to put you into basically setting your channel 3's endpoints and trim. And you just use your steering trim to do that. You can see here, I can retrim it. So when I do this, I usually like to have this guy set up completely upside down like this so that I'm able to try to kind of test our throttle. And here you go. You can see a little better now. So we can actually see our throttle. Let's go ahead and put it into high gear. So that's high, clicks over. And if I want, I can adjust, like I said, the center of that as well as the actual endpoint. So we kind of want it right about there. You just don't want it to go too far. You don't want to be too pulling on that shift lever. And then you can go ahead and set it to center. Your neutral. And make sure you're full on neutral. So it's like right about, where is it popping out? Right about there. Okay, and then go ahead and put it into low. And now we have a full lock on low. So simple as that. And then just double click your bind button again, and it takes you out, and now your trims and stuff are back to your steering. So you can do your dual rates on your steering. Okay. Nice. And really, that's all the features of this remote. I couldn't really find anything else on it. Again, I couldn't even figure out how to trim the channel 4, so I don't know if maybe the channel 4 just doesn't work with this receiver. It could be an issue with the receiver as well, not just the transmitter, but the transmitter definitely doesn't have that 4-wheel steer that the V5 does. So just keep that in mind. Other than that, though, you know, these transmitters are super comfortable, super easy to use. They feel pretty precise. The throttle modulation, I mean, it knows exactly when you start to give it just the tiniest bit of throttle. So there's not a lot of slop in them, which is really good. I really like these remotes, generally speaking. My favorite, though, so far is the V5, where you get that rear steer. Some of the older ones actually had foam on them. These guys here, they've got the foam wheels, but they've got nothing. So I'm kind of surprised they actually didn't end up using this remote, because it's got the foam, which is nice, and you're not using the dip switches anyway. So kind of interesting that they didn't choose to use this with the brushless. But who knows? Maybe I'm missing something on here. Maybe I'll do an update if I find out more about this remote. But seems pretty straightforward right now. All right. What else do we got? I think that's pretty much it. I think we covered everything. I hope you guys enjoyed the running video. Hope you enjoyed all the information I was able to get you. Hopefully I got you everything you wanted to know. And if you want to know more, go ahead and just put it down in the comments below, and I can try to answer any questions that you may have. I'm just excited to see a brushless RTR from FMS. Very cool. Hopefully next, maybe we'll see the FCX10 get a brushless treatment, and then all the other trucks as well. If they start to come available as brushless, that'd be awesome. Like I said, I was kind of surprised that the LC80 wasn't chosen as their truck to go brushless with, because it's an FCX18. It's 18th anniversary. Kind of makes sense to do at least one of the 18 scales. But I think a lot of people like the K5 Blazer. It's just cool that we can do it as a Blazer, as the truck version. You know, there's a lot of different bodies of it. It's just a cool truck overall. But like I said, I really would like to see some of the other trucks with that brushless setup in it. Would be very cool. And it's going to be interesting to see the whole price point on this. You're going to definitely have to click that link down in the description below. Check out the price. I'm not sure what it is at this moment, and it could change. There could be a sale, could be different where you live, things like that. So I usually try to not say the price of things. You can always click the link to see the current price, because prices are always changing. But knowing FMS is going to be an awesome deal. So definitely check it out. That link down there is probably an affiliate link, which means it helps us out, but it doesn't cost you anything. Just gets us some notice from the companies that we're using. There's probably a couple different retailers down there that we're going to go ahead and link to, but definitely go to them, check them out, help support us by using those affiliate links. Also, you could become a channel member if you want to help support directly. The channel members right over here. Thanks, guys. Awesome. They get to see these videos before anybody else with no ads. They also get sometimes behind the scenes videos, as well as priority replies to comments. So if they have any questions or they need to reach out to me directly, they have access to that. So a huge shout out to them. They make this channel possible. Without them, we wouldn't be able to do a lot of stuff that we do. And we're not wearing any of our swag today. We got some little guy racing going on, but we've got swag as well. You can definitely check that out. We've got hoodies and t-shirts, men's, women's, kids, all kinds of different styles that help support the channel as well. We don't really make any money on it, so it doesn't help in that way, but it does help get the word out there. That's one of the biggest things to help us grow, is share the videos, share that we're a channel and that people should look to us if they're looking for reviews or upgrades or insights, stuff like that. You know, the stuff the videos we make, cool running videos. But yeah, definitely huge shout out to everybody that helps support the channel. I love you guys. Make sure, if you're not already a subscriber, go ahead and hit that subscribe button. It's just a click for you, but it means the world to me. And then also like the video. If you like this video, you can also share it to all your friends and hit that notification bell so that you know when new videos come. You'll get a notification and you know that it's time to watch some of the Shot Mini RC while you work on some rigs. All right, guys, I appreciate everything. Get out there and build something awesome. Build a car, build a course, build a community, and then smash it, crash it, and bash it. Just don't break the expensive parts. Peace.